Let's make sure audio is working okay and everything's good. Okay, let's make sure. All right, we're good and we're ready to go. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Malin. Welcome back to Welcome to the new rebuild in Madden 25. Yes, we're rebuilding the Indianapolis Colts. We're going to another AFC team. This is one of the teams that I have not yet rebuilt in Madden in a while. And the Colts are kind of an interesting team. You know, we're talking about a team right now that has a good, solid young quarterback in Anthony Richardson, and also has one of the best running backs in the league and an 87 overall Jonathan Taylor. But other than that, this team could still use a few solid pieces in order to take the next step and be a good football team. So that's what we're going with. That's what we're going with for our rebuild. We've got Anthony Richardson as our quarterback, 73 overall. The only thing is, if he doesn't progress very much in the first couple of years, we may have to move in a different direction. We got Joe Flacco backing him up, although he's going to likely retire. And we got Sam Ehlinger as the third-string guy, 56 overall. Don't really see too much of a future with him. I think right now the best bet is to really build this team around a running game that we have. But Jonathan Taylor is not in the 90s like he has been in other Maddens that I've seen in the past. 87 overall, 4 years in the league. Got to wonder what the breakdown age is for a running back of his caliber. He's only 25, of course, 87 overall. But I think right now the best bet is to keep him and be kind of the main guy that we build this offense around and get some more players to help him out. We got Trey Sermon, who's a rookie, who's at Ohio State. He's backing him up. We got Tyler Goodson as the third guy. We don't have a fullback, so I'll go out and sign one. Now we have a good, solid receiving core that's not a really solid one, but an up-and-coming one. Michael Pittman Jr., 82 overall. We got an 80 Josh Downs, who's pretty good, who's a pretty good young player. We got Alec Pierce, and we've got Adonai Mitchell, the rookie out of Texas, and some other young receivers. Mo Alley Cox, our starting tight end, 73 overall. But overall-wise, this offense needs a little bit of a jolt in terms of getting a little bit better. Our highest guy is our running back at 87. We don't really have a whole lot of other guys at the skill positions who are really good. And I think we need to improve that to make this offense better. Left tackle, we have a 85 Raymond, which is pretty good. We have a 92 Quentin Nelson, so that's pretty good. We have two solid offensive linemen. We got an 83 Ryan Kelly, although based on Madden's that I play, based on different franchise modes that I play, he's probably in one of the last years of his contract. Who knows how much longer I'll keep him around, but 83 center is good. We got a 78 Will Fries, although he's injured. He may be out for the season, so Mark Glowinski will probably be the starter there. And we got an 83 Braden Smith, but he's also nicked up. Hopefully he comes back next season. Our offensive line actually is one of the strengths of our offense. So we've got a good offensive line to kind of build with, and maybe we can get a couple of skill position guys, and maybe this team will be good in a couple of years. Quiddy Payne, 77. We got Latu, a 76 defensive end. Defensive tackles, we got DeForest Buckner, one of the main good players on our defense, 87 overall. We got an 84 Grover Stewart, 71 Bryan, Raekwon Davis, 71. Stewart, 65, left outside linebacker, middle linebacker, Zaire Franklin, 81, 76 EJ Speed. Not a whole lot of solid, not a lot of talent at the linebacker spot outside of Franklin. And cornerback-wise, we got Kenny Moore, 88. We got a 76 Samuel Womack III. Jalen Jones is 75. Brett, 74. So we need some help at corner. Free safety could use a little bit of improvement. 76 Nick Cross. We got an 80 Julian Blackman. 72 Ronnie Harrison Jr. Secondary could use a little bit of an upgrade. We got a 77 kicker and a 76 punter. So that's the squad for the first year at the beginning of the rebuild. Anthony Richardson being a 73 about the quarterback situation moving forward, mostly because of the overall. And I don't know how much he's going to get. He may not be the answer for us, but we will see kind of what we decide to do with the quarterback position, and then we'll kind of just go forward from there. So anyway, we're in training camp, of course, and we've got preseason and everything. So let's go ahead and get going there. Oh, yeah, I got to get a fullback to fill up our roster. We don't have a fullback. So let me go out and get one, and I'm just going to go ahead and bring in Andrew Beck to be our starting fullback for this season since we do not have one on the team. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and go with that. I want to take a look at free agency to see if there's anybody, if there's any help we could get. Tight end wise, there's really nobody to help us there. What about maybe linebackers? Could use another left outside linebacker, actually. We don't have another one on the roster. Let me just get a guy who fits the scheme. Let's get Jermaine Carter Jr. to be a backup left outside linebacker for us to kind of fill out a roster a little bit. Because we only have don't have a whole lot of depth there. There's some corners out here that are not that bad. Xavier Howard could be intriguing to get, although in real life, if you guys haven't looked up why Xavier Howard was a free agent, let's just say he's involved in some stuff off the field that's pretty bad. So I don't want to bring him on, even though he's a scheme fit guy. There's nobody really else who's a solid corner that can help us immediately. Nobody really great. Quarterback-wise, we've kind of taken care of that. So I think that's all we're going to do. We're just going to do that. We signed a backup left outside linebacker, and we've got a new starting fullback. So that'll help kind of fill out the roster a little bit for us. So that way we can kind of go into the season with every position kind of filled. So, Stewart is a 65. Let's go ahead and put. So we actually bringing in Jermaine Carter is better than him. So that's what we're going with. Right outside linebacker. Let's go ahead and get this situated here. Actually, EJ Speed. Let's have Speed there. Let's do this. Franklin is in his right spot. So bringing in Carter helps out with the linebacker situation a little bit. But we got to improve there for sure. There's no question about that. Right end's looking okay. We got Latu. We got Payne where he's supposed to be. What about the offensive line? Do we have another right tackle? Oh, well, we've got guys injured. That's why. I'm not going to sweat it too much then. Okay, we're good on the depth chart. Got the fixings that I need there. All right. So let's go ahead and kind of get through the preseason, build the roster for year one, see how we do. Won our first preseason game against the Broncos and Bo Nix. We've got trade offers for defensive end Deo Odenigbo. Sorry, I probably butchered that last name, but sorry. We only have one trade offer, and it's for a backup running back in Jerome Ford. We don't really need a backup running back, so I think I'm going to go ahead and decline that offer. That doesn't really entice me that much. Maybe there'll be another trade offer down the pipe, but we'll see. And we lose to the Cardinals in our second preseason game. Third preseason game against the Bengals, and we fall to the Bengals. Let me actually check the injury report and see what guys, unfortunately, we won't be able to use this year because we probably have Samson Ebukam. Yeah, these guys are all on IR. So we won't be able to use our starting right tackle, but hopefully Smith will be back. One of our starting, of course, right guard is out. One of our backup tight ends is out. Backup center's out. Strong safety backup is out. We got two strong safeties actually out. But not really main guys other than the offensive line. You only got to cut two players, so let's go ahead and take care of that. Trim down the roster. We have three quarterbacks. I'd like to keep three quarterbacks active if we can. Same thing with running backs. We've got three of them. Wide receiver-wise, we got a couple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 receivers. I'd like to keep them all active if we can. Let me move Ogletree to the practice squad. Keep 3 tight ends active. That's our long snapper. We're pretty thin on the offensive line, so can't really get rid of anybody. Isaiah Land. I remember him in Dallas. He's somebody that Dallas should have kept. I'm going to put him on the practice squad. Hopefully nobody picks him up, but we will see. We got 28 skill points to spend. And here's our coaching staff. We got Shane Steichen as our head coach. If we have a couple of tough seasons where we're at the bottom of the division, I think Steichen and the quarterback Richardson may be on their way out earlier than expected. Because if we're talking about rebuilding a team, based on how everything went in Miami, I'm willing to move on pretty quickly. His talent tree is like non-existent. So Steichen is our head coach. Doesn't really make me feel too great about that moving forward. In real life, this is his second season as head coach. If we have another season after this where we're a mediocre to really bottom feeder team and we really aren't going anywhere in 2024 or 2025, then I think it's going to be time to move on from him and Anthony Richardson. If we get enough talent around Richardson on offense, if we get another really big receiver, get a good tight end, and maybe fix up the offensive line and get everybody healthy, maybe improve the defense just a bit at the linebacker position, we may be able to get this team better quicker. But with a 73 overall quarterback in Richardson, I don't really know, because that's tough to work with as a guy that you drafted and he's not really getting much better than what he probably is going to be. Bye week this week. Let's get ready for the regular season to start out year one. Let's choose the draft class. Let's go ahead and get the 2025 draft in here. Should be all the right guys. We got Milrose, Shedeur Sanders. Yeah. If we are one of the worst teams in the league, I'm not going to hesitate to go get a quarterback. Maybe a Milroe, maybe a Sanders, or maybe even Carson Beck if he's available. But we'll see. It all depends on how the season goes. I don't think we'll be one of the worst teams in the league. I think Jonathan Taylor will be enough to keep us hovering around 500 by a few games, a little below maybe, even if that's a little bit below, but we'll just have to wait and see. Because in real life, I think the Colts only won like maybe 6 to 7 games, but that was mostly with Richardson being hurt during this real life 2024 season. So we'll see how that kind of works. But he's healthy. He's not injured. So he's going to get the full season, even though Joe Flacco is our backup. So let's go ahead and simulate to the middle of the season and see where we are with the Colts. See what our record is. See how we start out the franchise. Well, we've started out pretty poorly. We are 2-5, and we do have some trade offers. We got some more offers for Deo. Got a lot more offers now to choose from. The Jerome Ford offer is still there, but that's not really very enticing. Will Dissly could be a solid tight end. Ooh. Josh Wiley is tempting. Josh Oliver is a 74 tight end. But Will Dissly is the best tight end to come from, Jalen Hyatt's a solid young receiver. It's kind of tough. I don't know if I want to go with, more picks in the draft or get some help right away. Hyatt's pretty tempting too. He's a good young receiver. He's only 22 years old, so he's a very young receiver in New York. They're kind of in a rebuilding state of their own. I want to check our depth chart, though, on the defensive end. Is Deo the second defensive end, or is he the starter? If he's the starter, I don't want to trade him. No, he's the backup. The starter is Pay. The starter is him. Yeah, he's the starter. If we trade him, we're going to have to get another left end to be a backup. So I think he's worth trading. I think I'm going to take one of these offers, but right now let me just see them again. All right, let's review the offers again. The Cleveland one with Jerome Ford, we don't need a backup running back. I'm not going to do that. We don't really need help at corner. The corner that they are offering is somebody that isn't really that great. Disley looks like the best tight end that they're offering, but Hyatt's pretty tempting too. We get him, we could have another solid young receiver. But we already have a couple of solid young receivers anyway. He would kind of be the third receiver. So you know what? I'm going to trade him for Will Disley, the tight end from the LA Chargers. He's going to be better than Mo Alley Cox based on that trade alone. So we've got our new starting tight end. I think Mo Alley Cox, if I'm not mistaken, maybe on the last year of his contract. Yeah, Disley is an instant upgraded tight end, 75 overall. Mo Alley Cox is 73. So yeah. Now with our defensive end position, that kind of puts us in a tougher spot. So I'm going to go out and get another left end to back up Pay. So let me go ahead and sign another left end for depth reasons. Let me get Jordan Willis. I'm going to bring him in here. Of course, we're going to have to cut somebody because we did that, but I'm okay with doing that. I'm signing him mainly because he fits our scheme, so we're going to have to cut a player. Let me see. Who I want to get rid of? Let me go to the defensive side of the ball because I didn't really cut anybody in training camp on defense. We got a lot of corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, we got 5 corners. That's not a whole lot, so I'm going to keep 5 of them active. Cut some linebackers. So, some defensive tackles. Oh, that will cure penalties, so no, I don't want to do that. All these guys will get penalties. We'll get penalties if we cut anybody. Pretty thin at defensive end. We just signed Willis. Maybe a tight end. We can get rid of a tight end. We've got now Will Disley is our new starter. We keep Mo Alley Cox. Alan Kira penalty. What about Kylan Branson? Alan Kira penalty. So we'll get a penalty, whoever we cut. Maybe we can cut a receiver. Got 6 receivers. Alan Kira penalty, so no, I don't want to do that. Let's go back to the defense. We'll cut David Long. Shortens up the cornerback depth a little bit, but had to do it. So trade is accepted. We traded Deo, our backup defensive end, for Will Disley, who is who's an instant upgrade for us at tight end. He becomes our starter based on Mo Alley Cox. So yeah. So, but unfortunately, of course, we've started out the year 2-5. I want to take a look at stats, and I want to see how Anthony Richardson is doing. He's thrown for over 1,700 yards. 14 touchdowns and 15 interceptions, though, that's not good. Compared to the rest of the league, how is he doing? He's actually, in passing yards, he's actually 5th in the league. So that's not bad, but the touchdown to interception ratio is bad. What about rushing? Where's Jonathan Taylor at? Kind of towards the bottom. 3 rushing touchdowns, 375 yards on the ground. Statistically, for us as a whole, Richardson is the second leading rusher. I mean, he has some mobility, and he actually has more rushing touchdowns than Taylor. Receiving-wise, Josh Downs is our leading receiver with 9 touchdowns, over 700 yards, having a pretty good sophomore campaign. That's pretty good to see. Mo Alley Cox actually has been doing pretty well as our number 2 receiver, but with Disley in the fold, that'll change things up. We have 2 guys over 300 yards, and Pierce and Pittman Jr., 4 touchdowns for him. But Josh Downs is right now our leading receiver. That's good to see because Downs is a young player, and if he continues to progress, that looks like a solid weapon to build around. But yeah, let's get to negotiating and see what we can do. So we're not in the negative in terms of cap space, so that's good. We're $47 million. In terms of players that I want to keep, let's see. I want to try to keep Ryan Kelly if we can. What about a 2-year deal? He's exactly offered. $36 million, but that's not too bad. He's the highest rated set to be free agent, so I'm not too ashamed with spending money there. Mo Alley Cox is definitely expendable based on the fact that we traded for Disley. But is Disley's contract up? That's what I kind of wonder. Where's Disley? Is Disley on here? Is his contract up? Is that why, the LA Chargers are trying to get rid of him? His contract is not up. Okay, so that's good. Our strong safety is Julian Blackman. I think he's our starter, but we would have to offer him a pretty good contract. I don't know how much better we can do than Will Fries. We're going to have to offer him a pretty big contract, though. And EJ Speed is our starting right outside linebacker, but we can get better there. Blackman is going to want a pretty big deal. So you know what? I'm gonna be smart in the first off season, and I'm gonna hope that we can get better at strong safety and right guard and right outside linebacker and take a risk on letting those guys walk. Might be a bad idea, but I think it's one that I have to do in order to save some money so we don't get in cap hell too early. Well, 2-5. We got the 4-3 Texans this week. We lose to them by 2, so 2-6. There's going to be changes. I mean, we're starting out our first year with a team that's struggling with a quarterback. Although yardage-wise, Richardson is doing pretty good. We beat the Vikings though. So we got a little bit of momentum going, but we're playing the 7-2 Bills this week. Lord knows this is not going to be an easy matchup. And we lose to the Bills by 11. We've got the Jets on deck this week. They're 3-7, just like us. And we lose to the Jets by 8. So we're 3-8 right now. No shot at the playoffs. Are we last in our division? We're actually not. Wow. Well, then again, just like in real life, the AFC South is so bad this year. Look at how bad everybody else is. The Titans and the Jaguars have only won 2 games. We've only won 1 more game than those teams, and we're the second-place team in our division. But you know what? It's not really saying too much. The Texans are running away with the division. They're going to win the AFC South this year. No question about it. We play Detroit this week. They're coming to play us. And we lose to the Lions by 15. Kind of going off the rails a little bit here in terms of how we're looking. So we could be in line for a top 10 pick at this rate, but who knows? Well, we lost to the Patriots by 1. We're on a bye week this week. We have a new injury as well to go along with that L. Are you kidding me? Jonathan Taylor tore his hamstring. He's out for 7 games. How many more games do we actually have left? I think we don't have many more left, and we're not making the playoffs. So, man, that's rough. First year, Jonathan Taylor hurts his hamstring, and he's out for the rest of the season, potentially. Yeah, we're going to put Jonathan Taylor on IR, and we're going to sign a running back to carry the load for the man. That's rough. First year, and we lose Jonathan Taylor to a hamstring tear. Out for 7 weeks. Yeah, we're going to put you on IR, Jonathan. All right. Well, we only have 2 running backs on the roster, so I'm going to go and sign a running back for the rest of the season. We have Dalvin Cook available. So, I'm going to bring on Matt Breida for the rest of the season. I don't think he'll be our starter, but we just need another running back on the team who's solid. So what does that do for our running back depth chart? So Matt Breida automatically becomes our starting running back, 72 overall. I know it's kind of a weird thing to play a guy you just acquired as your starter, but I think that's what we're going. So Tyler Goodson is going to be the backup running back for the rest of the season. His contract is up as well. But Trey Sermon, we drafted, is a young guy a few years back, so he'll be back on the roster. So we got Goodson and Matt Breida as our running backs for the rest of the season. So our offense just got a lot worse. So it may be tough for our offense to put up any kind of good number. We've fallen to 3rd place in our division at 3-10. So I'll tell you, based on the fact that we're 3-10 right now, like I said earlier, we may be in line for a top 10 pick, top 15 pick. something like that. We give some upgrades to our offensive coordinator, Garrett Pratt. Lord knows we're going to need some help on offense to even be respectable the rest of the season to hopefully win a couple of games. Because I think we've lost like a few games in a row right now. So, and, yeah, we're on our bye week this week. Let's go ahead and simulate through the bye week. We got Denver, and then we've got Tennessee. And we lose to the Broncos. We only got 3 games left. We're playing the Titans. And we fall into last place in our division. No, we haven't. We're second. I thought that was the Titans for a second. Sorry about that. Got a media question to answer. We've got an opponent. Two teams, one great rivalry. It'll be fun. I'm just going to say that. So we're not like guaranteeing a win or saying that we're going to win this game. Because we're going up against, a Titans team that's just as bad as we are, but hopefully we can get a win. Finally back on the winning track. We beat the Titans by 7. Looked like it was probably a close game. And we've got 2 pretty bad opponents to play in the last 2 games of the season. We got the 1-14 Giants. Okay. We're playing against the worst team in the NFL for sure in this week. 1-14. Wow, the Giants just awful. Let me take a look and see. Let me take a look at the standings and see if we're in line for maybe the number 1 pick. I mean, we're low, but we're the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're the 6th worst team in the NFL, so we would be in line for, it looks like, the number 6 overall pick. Of course, if we beat the Jaguars to end the season, we would leapfrog them and stay in front of them. They would be just as bad. But, I'm not caring about, pick placement too much or anything like that. So yeah, the Giants are the worst team in the NFL. That's who we're playing this week. To lose to them would be embarrassing, even though we are a pretty embarrassing team this year. I mean, we don't have our starting running back for the rest of the season. Our offense, I guess, has been pretty pedestrian under Anthony Richardson, but let's see if we can get a couple of wins to wrap up the season. See if we can beat the Giants. All right, we beat the Giants by 10, so we've won 2 games in a row. It's probably the first winning streak we've had since maybe the beginning of the season. And we are second. We're second in our division, so we're starting to kind of distance ourselves from the Jaguars. That's what we play to wrap up the season. Let me take a look at some statistics and see how Richardson is doing this season. So he's actually thrown for 3,800 yards, 31 touchdowns, to 27 interceptions. So he's actually playing a little bit better than in the past. So not quite ready to pull the plug on Richardson just yet with a stat line like that. As far as compared to the rest of the NFL, he's kind of in the middle of the pack. But then again, teams are throwing the ball all over the yard, so that doesn't really surprise me. So yeah. And with and with our running backs and with our starting running back out, and we've got 270 guys, we're going to be relying on throwing the football a lot more to wrap up the season. Let's take a look at the playoff picture before the final game for us. We've got the Chiefs and the Dolphins. We got the Bills and the Steelers, the Texans and the Bengals. The Ravens would have the number 1 seed. Eagles have the number 1 seed in the NFC. We got the Vikings and the Rams, Panthers, Packers, 49ers, and the Bears. So that's what we're looking like for the playoffs. And we're getting ready to play our last game of the season. This doesn't mean anything. The only thing is that if the Jaguars beat us, I think, they would get a pick before us. But you know what? We're playing for pride at this point. Let's get our 6th win of the season and wrap up the season in fashion. Do we have any current alternates? Well, we got that. And let's just wear the regular home. We'll just wear the regular home uniforms. Playing the Jaguars to wrap up the season. Richardson has actually put together a pretty good season statistically. Hopefully this means that he's going to continue to progress, but we'll see. Hopefully we can throw the ball all over the yard against a pretty bad Jacksonville Jaguars team and wrap up the season in good fashion with a win.
Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play.
So here we are on offense.
The defense did their job. They didn't allow any points on the opening drive. Now second drive of the game, first for this offense, and what can they do with their go-around? Now Richardson.
Downs. Good catch. Almost got a first down. He's a couple yards short. Let's go to the inside zone here with Breida.
Here's the first carry from Matt Breida.
Here we go, Breida. First down.
Right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Richardson.
On Pierce. You're open. There we go. Good catch by Alec Pierce. Inside, on the opposite side of the 50. Let's go.
Inside the 45. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
We can find Disley. Dropped it.
That one incomplete there. Will Disley, the intended receiver, but it'll be second down. And there on your screen, Charles, the key inactives guys out this week. And there's never anything.
Good run by Breida, though. It's 1 yard short of the first down. Let's run it again, see if we can pick it up.
Someone else on the depth chart. Will they take advantage of it with good play? Or have they not prepared well, thinking they'll never get
Good blocking by the O-line. Yeah, we've been able to run the football pretty well on this drive. To a strong start there.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson.
On Disley. Or Pittman, there we go. 1st and goal. Breida, touchdown. Good opening drive for the offense. Got on the board first. We are on defense. Jacksonville threatening here for the first time. 39 for Jacksonville. Missed him. That was a bad miss. I had him in my sights. I just dove way too early. Flipped the stick. Thought I could deliver a big hit. Played it poorly. Matt Jones, the starter. Of course, Trevor Lawrence is out. The 2, good job. Good pursuit there. Lost a lot of yards there. Oh, maybe. There we go. Good tackle. 3rd down. Off the field would be. The 2 had a chance, but still. Incompletion, forced to throw away, field goal. Solid defense there. Force a field goal, 7-3 still. 4th and 14. Go for the field goal here. And we get it to increase our lead back to 7. 7 seconds left.
In the second quarter. Throwing Jones. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Thomas.
They kicked the field goal to end the half, starting at the 3rd quarter. We're up 10-6. Let's get another good drive going. It's 3rd down and 10. Oh, man. I was looking for downs, but didn't have time to get it to him. Here comes Jacksonville. 3rd and 1. I'm going to go fireman. Play the run. It's a pass. Of course it was. But at least we forced a throwaway by Matt Jones. The pressure was there. I'm going for it. I'm not surprised. Oh, man, I'm going fireman again. That's too low. Oh, man, of course he got it.
tackled at the 12.
Almost the end of the third quarter.
In motion right is Thomas. They'll look to throw now on first down.
Oh, wow. Misfire by Jones there. Incomplete. He had him, too.
Second and third down to fall back on.
Flag. Please be a hold on them. Please be a hold.
For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Yes. Holding on the offense.
So erase the
wow.
score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
Touchdown taken off the board. That's pretty big.
To strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. Got to go back to their play chart and see if they can
go. Get him down. Get ETN down. There we go.
But they're still deep in a hole. 15 yards
still to
go on third down. Tall task
the pass.
Here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. From the gun on third down, Jones. He'll find the
oh, get him. Get him. There we go. Force the field goal.
Well shy of the first as he can only make it to
good stop. Good stop, Pete.
Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping.
Start of the fourth quarter, they're going to line up for a chip shot field goal. Try to tie this. Well, try to narrow the gap to 1 point. So it could be a pretty intense fourth quarter here, even for a game with two teams that aren't fighting for anything in the playoffs.
And his kick is right there. It's good.
It's 10-9.
This defense
3rd and 7.
of a big stop.
That's where we need a big play from you, Anthony.
Let's see if they can get that stop they need.
Oh, Pittman. Caught it. First down. Nice job. Good job, Pittman. Nice throw by Richardson. He's going for over 4,000 yards this season. That's pretty impressive. 31 touchdowns. Good year for Anthony.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Out of the shotgun, Breida.
Joshua Hines
Allen there on the stop.
Field goal would be nice, but if we get a touchdown here, that could pretty much kind of start putting the nails in the coffin.
Richardson looking to throw.
Downs. Great catch. There we go, Downs. Great play. We'll go with a running play inside with Breida. We can just power our way in. Breida. Oh! Down to the 1. Okay.
It's a gain of a couple.
I'm going to go with another running play. Gotten down by the goal line. Let our offensive line block for us. There we go. Perfect blocking. Touchdown, Breida. His 2nd touchdown of the game. Good play. Make it really tough for them to come back. Good drive by Anthony Richardson, too.
See if they can do it. The ball on the offensive side of the field.
Get him down.
He's got Reynolds.
Got the first, but didn't get too much farther.
Before being corralled. All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10.
Well, they need a touchdown and 2-point conversion to keep this thing going. To get into overtime. Latu, come on. There's a flag down. Please be a hold on them. Please be a hold on them. I'm actually declining it because we got a huge sack right there.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts? No, not at all.
See, with another chance at a sack, he couldn't get him. Tu's been pretty solid in this game. I've controlled him pretty much on every play on defense. 2-minute warning. We're up by 8. Got to prevent Jacksonville from scoring and getting a 2-point conversion. But they're down to their last two plays, so tough here. Oh, another sack. Let's go from the other side. It was Pay. Let's go. Now it's 4th down, and this is the last chance for the Jags. Both defensive ends came through big on this series with sacks. Oh, my gosh. How is... Wow. Wow. Well, they needed 2 just to tie it. and they didn't get it. So we were able to stop them, but geez, we let up a long touchdown there. So let's just run it, be smart about it, because Breida's had some open rushing lanes today. I think it is a little bit of a testament to, like I said when I started the rebuild, this offensive line starting out is pretty solid. So even if we got a guy that's, rated like in the 70s, like Breida is, we still may be able to have success running the football. Not to diss Jonathan Taylor at all, because believe me, I'm looking forward to having him back next season. But if we have a solid offensive line to build this team around starting out, that's even better. Which I think may give me an indication that I think Will Fries deserves a new contract. So I'm going to give it to him if I can. I may have to restructure some deals, but I feel like I can do it. We get the first down. Let's go in and take a knee, let the rest of this clock tick down. 1 minute left in our 2024 season. It wasn't pretty. It was kind of a grinded out type of game against the Jaguars. We let up that touchdown late after we got them into a 3rd and long situation, which was not a great moment for our defense. But hey, Anthony Richardson eclipsed the 4,000-yard passing mark in the first year in this game, which I think is a pretty good start and a pretty good indication for me that maybe he's the guy that could develop and get better as our starting quarterback. Of course, we have Jonathan Taylor. We've got some good receivers. If we can get maybe a real superstar receiver, like a firm guy that's in like the high 80s or something in the offseason, I think that would be a major boost to our receiving. So, offseason coming up. We got some work to do. I think we'll have a top 10 pick, but we will see.
Get to share it with the home team.
And that is the end of the game. We beat the Jaguars to wrap up the season 17-15. Of course, we're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. Solid game, like I said. Not a bad way to end the 2024 season, despite all the injuries that we've had and all this tough stuff that this team has gone through. But, hey, onward and upward to 2025. Every journey starts somewhere, so that's why they call it a rebuild. Breida had 2 touchdowns running the football. That was pretty good for us to help us out. So, yeah, that's how the first season of the rebuild ends. Let's take a look at the playoff bracket for year 1. We got the Chiefs and Dolphins, Bills, Steelers, Texans, Bengals, and we've got the Ravens who have the number 1 seed. Got the Eagles have the bye week. We got the Vikings and the Rams, Panthers, Bears, 49ers, Packers. So nothing really changed in terms of playoff seeding from week 17 to week 18. All right. Advance through the playoffs, and let's see who gets all the way to the Super Bowl in year 1. And the Super Bowl is going to be between the Eagles and the Bills. So the Chiefs, they beat the Dolphins. The Bills beat the Steelers, and then the Texans beat the Bengals. The Bills upset the Chiefs in Arrowhead, and then the Texans upset the Ravens. So the lower-seeded AFC teams won. The Bills beat the Texans. And then on the NFC side, it was the Vikings beating the Rams. Then it was the Panthers beating the Bears. The 49ers beat the Packers. The Vikings took care of the Panthers. And then the Eagles beat the 49ers. So it was Eagles, Vikings in the NFC Championship, a rematch of the 2017 NFC Championship game. And it was 24-13, the final. Eagles going back to the Super Bowl. So it's the Eagles and the Bills in the first Super Bowl. Let's check out the Pro Bowl roster to see if any of our Colts made it. It doesn't look like it. Jonathan Taylor, of course, missed like the last, few games of the season, so his numbers probably weren't good enough for him to get there. Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong side. I was looking at the NFC side the whole time. Let me again. Oh, Josh Downs made the Pro Bowl. All right, 84 overall. He'll be a good receiver for us in the future. So Josh Downs made the Pro Bowl. Quentin Nelson, he made the Pro Bowl. DeForest Buckner made it. That makes 3 Colts. And it looks like that is it. So we had 3 guys made it. Buckner, Nelson, and Downs. We had 3 Colts make the Pro Bowl in year 1. Not bad. So let's go ahead and see who wins the Super Bowl. Well, advance the Super Bowl week. We'll check out the yearly awards and see if any of the Colts were in any consideration for anything. I doubt it, but we'll see. We'll check anyway. Let's check out yearly awards. The MVP is Joe Burrow. Coach of the Year is John Harbaugh. AFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Lamar Jackson. Ooh, Josh Downs finished 4th for Offensive Player of the Year in the AFC. That's pretty good. Defensive Player of the Year, Zaire Franklin actually finished 9th in the AFC. And Offensive Rookie of the Year, no Colts. Defensive Rookie of the Year, nobody. Best QB, no love for Anthony Richardson. Best running back. Jonathan Taylor finished 10th despite not playing the last few games of the season. Best receiver in the AFC, Josh Downs. Let's go. Well deserved. Best offensive lineman, Quentin Nelson finished 5th. Best defensive lineman, DeForest Buckner finished 9th. Best linebacker, no Colts. Best DB. Oh, Samuel Womack III finished 2nd for best DB? That's surprising. Best kicker, Matt Gay finished 3rd. So, yeah. So, Josh Downs won AFC best receiver in the AFC. So, that's pretty good. Good to see him. New ability unlocked. So, short and elite. Let's see. He's up to an 87. Wow, that's good. Let's go second win for that. Got some new abilities for Downs unlocked. Getting better. Let's see who wins the Super Bowl between the Eagles and the Bills. All right, let's check it out. And it was the Eagles beating the Bills. So they've won their 2nd Super Bowl. The MVP was Zach Bond of the Eagles. The MVP, of course, went to Joe Burrow. Coach of the Year was Harbaugh. Offensive Player of the Year went to Cooper Kupp. Defensive Player of the Year went to Khalil Mack of the Chargers. The Offensive Rookie of the Year was Devon Valey of the Broncos. And the middle linebacker, Edgerton Cooper, won Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Packers. All right. A couple of different names I don't normally see for getting those awards for Rookies of the Year, but it is what it is. Let's check out the retirements. Let's see if we had anybody retire from us. The Texans had a few guys retire. Autry, Keenum, and Hughes retired. So did Harrison Smith. Nick Folk retired. Cameron Hayward retired. So did Davis, Cameron Jordan, Crowder, Ertz, Josh Johnson, Kyle Van Noy retired. We also had John Jenkins retire. Adam Thielen retired. Aaron Rodgers retired. Interesting. Graham Gano retired. Martinez. Let's see about the Colts. Did we have anybody retire from us? Nobody. We had no retirements. Not even Joe Flacco. All right. Surprising. Joe Flacco's still going to play. So let's get ready for the offseason. Let's go ahead and advance. Let me actually see where we're going to be picking in the draft. Let's go to mock drafts. Mock draft number 5. Oh, it's not available yet. Okay, mock draft number 4 then. Looks like right now we possess the number 8 pick, and they actually have us projected to take Travis Hunter. Okay, we do need some help at corner. I will admit that. We don't necessarily need a quarterback because I think that in at least this season, Richardson proved that he may be on the verge of progressing. If Will Johnson falls, I'd be tempted to take him, but if Travis Hunter is there, I'm going to be fine with taking him as our first-round pick. So I think that's the way we got to go. Corner is okay because we do need some help at corner. We need some improvements there. We got a solid starter, but we need a second corner that can be really good. And Travis Hunter, I think, has the potential to really help us out there. That's what we're projected to pick in the draft. All right. Let's go ahead and advance to next week. I want to take another opportunity, another stab to see if we can get. So here's what I'm going to do first. I want to take a look at the team salaries here. I want to take a look at the guys that are making the most money. And I want to see if I can restructure these contracts so we can already create some money for this season. Wow, Nelson's the highest paid guy. Restructured his deal, frees up a good amount of cap space. That's great. What about Kenny Moore? Can we restructure his deal? Yep. 20K, okay. Not a whole lot, but still pretty good. Jonathan Taylor, can we restructure his contract? For $2 million. Raymond, another offensive lineman. Can't do anything with his deal. Josh Downs. 130K. Not a whole lot, but still. I'm surprised that he would take a pay cut based on the type of a season he had. But hey, this is Madden. What do you expect? Nothing really is logic. Can't restructure DeForest Buckner's deal. What about Braden Smith? No. I mean, he was injured last year, so his deal is like, hey, I'm going to be back this year, so I'll be able to help you out. I know we signed Kelly to a new deal, but can we already restructure the deal to save up some money? Yeah, it'll free up $2.53 million. Cool. All right, let me go and see about a couple more guys. What about Pittman? Free up $4.444 million. That'll help. What about Franklin? $3.36 million. Solid. All right, so we're able to restructure guys that are at the top of the cap. So now we can actually try to keep some of the guys back that we know we're going to hit the market. Will Fries, I think, is somebody that is going to be tough to replace. So I'm going to see about this neutral deal. I think free agency will be better in the long run. Okay, well, let's go ahead and franchise tag Fries. That takes us down to $51 million. That's not too bad. Speed, I think, is somebody that is replaceable, and everybody else is expendable, in my mind, especially with the trade of especially since we traded for Disley to be our new starting tight end. That means Mo Alley Cox. We can see him walk. And Blackman, though, I don't think we can do much better. So I'm going to go up a little bit with a. All right, let's see about this neutral deal. I'd like to play for a new team next year. All right. Well, we can always try again in free agency if there's nobody else who's available who is better than him in terms of strong safeties. But maybe we can get him back in free agency. We'll have another chance when we hit free agency to start out. Restructuring those contracts of everybody was really big. So that way we can take a look at what we need to improve. All right, so let's take a look at our roster. We don't have any other backup quarterbacks. Jonathan Taylor and we have Tyler Hoosman. So we don't really have another solid backup behind Taylor. We do need another fullback. Josh Downs, 87, 82 Pittman. But we could use another good receiver if there's another guy in the 80s. Disley is pretty solid. We traded for him, of course. Left tackle-wise, 85, 91, 83, 78, 83. Offensive line is good. If there's some defensive help, fine. But we'll see. Left and right outside linebackers could use some help. Of course, Samuel Womack didn't have that bad of a season. We have an 88 Kenny Moore, one of our captains. But if we get Travis Hunter in the draft, that could really help our secondary. Ooh, we need a strong safety for sure. But Blackman is somebody that we want to keep. We have a bunch of kickers, so I'm actually going to get rid of these guys. We don't need this many kickers. I don't free up a lot, but we don't really need these kickers. We'll get Mevis out of here. Yeah, we don't really need these kickers. We don't need this many kickers on our team. All right. So let's go ahead and go to the free agent pool, and see who's out here. First of all, let's see how much money we can spend. $52 million is not a whole lot when you actually look at it in the grand scheme of things. And like I said, want to go guys that fit the scheme. So Blackman actually is not the top safety available. But the guy that's interested is Isaiah Simmons. 75 overall is actually not bad. I know that's a little bit cheaper, but, you know, it might be worth it in the end. Let's go with a smaller deal because nobody's really vying for his services right now. So we might be able to get him on a little bit cheaper deal. And like I said, I want guys that are interested in coming here so we don't feel like we have to break the bank, except for offensive line. I think that was worth it to go break the bank a little bit for Fries. So, yeah. All right, linebackers. Don't really have a bunch of guys that are too interested in coming here. About left outside linebackers. Okay, there's somebody with interest. Preston Smith, 74 overall. Definitely, I think we could definitely use him. He just wants a one-year deal. He doesn't want a whole lot. Definitely. You know what? Let's go with more of a team-friendly deal to save a little bit of money for us if nobody's really going to be vying for him. He'll be our new starting left outside linebacker. Let me see about receivers. There's some good receivers out here, but they're all like we'd have to break the bank for one of these guys. Would it be worth it? I don't really know. Tutu Atwell would be helpful to have another receiver to help out with Downs and Pittman. So I'm going to actually bring him in, a team-friendly deal, see if we can get him in here for a couple of years, help us out. Well, actually, the Titans are offering a little bit more money. Let's go with a neutral deal then for 3 years. See if that puts us in better contention for his services. It does. We're right there with the Titans. If we miss out on him, I'm not going to be too upset about that. Alec Ingold, couldn't use a new fullback. Let's bring him in. Let's go with a team-friendly deal for 1 year. Need another running back to help us out a little bit as a backup. Let's bring in Kareem Hunt. Team-friendly deal. I think this would be enough to keep him to, take services. So we're actually at 5 out of 5. So is there anybody like in the top 100 that we feel like we could really use? Not really. And none of the guys that are really in the top of this are really interested in us. So this is what we're going with for our targets. Tutu Atwell, Kareem Hunt, Isaiah Simmons, Alec Ingold, and Preston Smith. Tutu Atwell is the only guy that we're offering a contract to who's got somebody else vying for his services. But all the other 4 guys we should be able to get. Not breaking the bank too much, and we still got, I think, over $30 million left. But yeah. So we got Kareem Hunt to sign. Isaiah Simmons, Ingold, and Preston Smith are still considering. Did Tutu Atwell end up going somewhere else? Yeah, he did. He went to the Titans. Okay, so that freed up a little bit of room for us. I just don't really think it's worth it to try to, break the bank too much because Joshua Downs had a breakout season, so I think it's worth it. So I'm actually not going to go really too crazy with trying to bring in somebody else. We do need a backup quarterback. I want somebody who's interested. Let's bring in Drew Lock. Cheap 1-year deal. Need a backup QB. Nobody else is really vying for his services. So, yeah. I really want guys that want to be interested in coming here. I don't want to feel like I have to break the bank or anything like that too much. So, we're still in on Simmons. Blackman went to the Jets. If we get Travis Hunter, I don't really know how much help we're going to need at corner, per se. Do we need to get some backups at certain positions? Let me see. Kareem Hunt becomes our backup running back behind Jonathan Taylor. Of course, we're going to get Ingold, so that's helped our fullback situation. Pierce is actually to 79, so if we can get in the 80s probably next season. Donnie Mitchell could be more the same. So receiver-wise, I think we're actually okay at. There wasn't really any other good tight ends that I was really too interested in. So I don't think it's really worth it for that. Disley, can I actually give him his 81 back? Yeah, I can. And it looks like we can actually restructure his contract too, so we'll free up a lot of space, but we'll free up a little bit. We have a bunch of tight ends. What about offensive line? Do we need like any more back? We need a backup left guard. So let's go and get a backup left guard during this wave of free agency. We're going to get a backup left guard. Michael Jordan. Why not? It doesn't fit a scheme. It doesn't fit our scheme per se, but he's interested in coming here. All right. What about on the defensive line? Do we need any backups on defense, like a defensive end or maybe defensive tackle? 78 for pay. 77, 85, and an 80. We don't really need backups there. Could use a backup right outside linebacker. So let's go again another one. Let's get a backup right outside linebacker. And actually, I'm going to put in an offer for another left outside linebacker. So we have two of them during the free agency cycle. We're going in on Preston Smith already. There's somebody we can get in as a backup. Del'Shawn Phillips. Let's bring him in as a backup. And let's bring in another right outside linebacker to be a backup. Anybody interested in coming here? Wow, so we would have to break the bank a little bit there just to get some. Okay, let's see if anybody in the yellows. Nobody really interested. Or in the red. There was one guy in the yellows, but he was pretty rated low. 61 overall, Chappelle Russell. If we're his only offer, I would not be surprised. So yeah. Do we need a backup at like any of the defensive back positions, or are we pretty good there with like our starters at least? Pretty good at corner in terms of backups and depth. We're going after Simmons for strong safety, so I think that really helps our cause there. All right. Let's go and advance next week, see if we land anybody else in the second cycle. The only guy we got in the first cycle was Kareem Hunt. All right, so we got Kareem Hunt. We did get Isaiah Simmons, our new starting strong safety. Our new fullback is Alec Ingold. We got Preston Smith, left outside linebacker, is going to be our new starter. The backup for him is going to be Del'Shawn Phillips. We got Michael Jordan to be a backup left guard, and we signed Chappelle Russell to be a backup right outside linebacker. So really just going with depth there in terms of helping us out. Kind of got the roster filled up, and now it's just a matter of, getting some talent in the draft to help us out. I guess Drew Lock still hasn't made a decision about us yet. He's probably still waiting to make his decision there, I would guess. Can we give Kareem Hunt maybe 27? I don't know if we can, but we'll see. Somebody might have already taken 27. No, we can give him 27. All right, let's do that. Gold. So Jordan helps out backing up Nelson. For Preston Smith. Charles Chaplin Russell's going to back him up. We still could use improvement at both linebacker positions on the outside, especially right outside linebacker. I'm okay with going with Preston Smith, but right outside linebacker could use some improvement. With Charlie's as the starter. We got Moore, we got Womack. Get Travis Hunter. That'll be a big upgrade for the secondary, as I've mentioned. And Isaiah Simmons now your starter at strong safety. So, solid. Okay. Oh, no. Hopefully Drew Lock comes to us. Let's go ahead and advance to next week, see if Drew Lock decides to sign and be our new backup quarterback. And we did get Drew Lock to sign and be our backup quarterback. We've taken care of that. So we were active in free agency this year, but we didn't really spend a whole lot because there wasn't really a whole lot of guys that were actually interested in coming to Indianapolis. And I want, guys that want to be here. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to have to spend a whole lot of money to bring in guys, even if they're scheme fit guys, I'm going to have to break the bank for, 1 to 2 guys. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to put myself in salary cap hell. So, time to get ready for the draft. Let's go ahead and get ready for that. Let's go to Scout College Players. Mock draft number 5 is probably available now. Let's see what they have us projected to do. So we possess the 8th overall pick. They're actually projecting us to take Mykel Williams now. I mean, we could use some help at defensive end to a certain extent. He fits our scheme too. That might be actually a better idea than Travis Hunter. But Hunter may be just too enticing to pass up. Will Johnson looks like he will not slip. But I'm still thinking Travis Hunter. Get a good corner to help us out. That might be just the way to go. Let's see. So let's get ready for the draft. Here we go, round 1. At the 9th, we're picking here. Let's make. Here we go. So Travis Hunter is at the top of the board, and we're going to take him. He's there. We're taking Travis Hunter. Taking the Heisman Trophy winner. Excellent pick. There we go. Travis Hunter is an Indianapolis Colt. First rebuild I've done with Travis Hunter in the fold. I'm excited about that. Second round pick. There's some running backs here that are pretty good. Of course, Judkins, there's Ollie Gordon, Alungale. But this defensive tackle looks. We could get a new tight end to help on offense. But there's some running backs here that are pretty good. You know what? I'm going to take Ollie Gordon to be a backup running back behind Taylor. I think that'll be great for us. Excellent pick. Former Oklahoma State Cowboy. Our second round pick. So quarterback, Alungale is there, but Kobe Bryant, Ricardo Hallman. We've got a corner already. Shamir Stewart, defensive end at Texas A&M, actually looks pretty solid. We're going to go with him. Average pick. Okay, so we might have reached a little bit for our third round pick. Here we are in the 4th round. Xavier Restrepo from Miami looks pretty good. We could use some more receiving help. Let's get another good receiver in here. Good pick. Might have gotten a steal in the 4th round with him. Corners. I don't want to reach too much. So you know what? I'm going to take Toriano Pride Jr., this corner. Get another corner along to go with Hunter. Get some solid cornerback depth here. Here we go. 6th round pick. Sturdivant is still there, and so is Jason Marshall Jr. This center, Gus Miller, looks not too bad. So I'm going to take a risk and go with him. Bad pick. So we got one bad pick in the draft so far. Hopefully that's the only bad pick that we have. 7th round selection. Of course, we got some guys slipping. I'm going to go with this right tackle, Ozzy Trapilo. Get some offensive line depth. Another bad pick. So we had 2 bad picks to end the draft, but at that point, just picking some guys for depth, see how they develop. So the first draft of the rebuild is full of some recognizable names. Travis Hunter, 8th overall pick, corner from Colorado, prime, coached by Deion Sanders. Travis Hunter coming in here. Hopefully that can put us on the map a little bit, give us a little bit of that swagger as we try to rebuild the Colts. We took Ollie Gordon in the second round to be the backup running back behind Taylor, which I think is a pretty good option. And Hunter coming in at a 78 overall is solid to start out. Hopefully he gets in the 80s in his rookie year. He'll get playing time. Shamir Stewart, a left end out of Texas A&M. We needed some depth there. We also took Xavier Restrepo from Miami, a receiver in the 4th round. Toriano Pride Jr., a corner from Missouri. We took him in the 5th round. 6th round pick was Gus Miller, a center from South Dakota State. And Ozzie Trapilo from Boston College, a right tackle. So we went offensive lineman with the last 2 picks of the draft for us. So let's go ahead and take a look at our roster here. Let's kind of take a look at all the positions and see how we're looking. We're probably going to need a 3rd-string quarterback. So Ollie Gordon actually is the 3rd running back behind Kareem Hunt. But you know what? I think it was worth the pick because we only have Kareem Hunt on a 1-year deal. Ollie Gordon, it fits our scheme too, so he's got to, learn behind these guys, and hopefully he learns a lot. Let me see. What's Xavier Restrepo's number? What a name. I feel like I should be familiar with that. Oh, yeah, he's that guy that wears number 7 that has, like, the curly hair, kind of like that I used to have. He's got the frosted tips and everything. I'm looking at a picture online. That's why I'm, seeing this. Do we have anybody that's wearing number 7 on the team? I think our kicker does. Yeah, Matt Gay wears number 7. Okay, let's see if we can give Restrepo maybe something like 87, potentially. I don't know. He's a rookie. Maybe 17? See, about 17. Yeah, we can give him 17. Let's give it Restrepo number 17. One of our wide receivers. 73 overall starting out, but we've got, a 79 Pierce, and then Pittman, and then Downs. Tight end-wise, we didn't take a tight end this year. Center, Gus Miller. Not too familiar with him. Let's see if he... Usually, guys in the first draft are real. Yeah, he's real. South Dakota State, though, pretty low rated. 66 overall. Not anything you write home about. Braden Smith. Ozzie. Sharon! Sorry, I couldn't help it. Ozzie Trapilo. 70. Where's number 70? And he can wear number 7. Shamar Stewart. Shamar Stewart. From A&M. Number 4. Well, we're probably number 4 because of... can he? Let's see if we can give him number 4. We can. All right. Stewart, get number 4. Back up behind Pay. Gives us a boost on the defensive line a little bit with some young blood there. We didn't take a defensive tackle. We did not take any linebackers. Oh yeah, and he can wear number 12. I know that used to be Andrew Luck's number, but I don't think 12 has officially been retired by the Colts. So Travis Hunter, dude, you can wear number 12. Starting at a 78 overall, he's the 3rd cornerback behind Womack. And Kenny Moore is still our top guy. But bringing in Travis Hunter, hopefully he'll contribute a little bit right away. That's what I'm hoping for. And we also got this other corner, Toriano Pride Jr. Is he related to Troy Pride, who got picked up by the Cowboys? I wouldn't be surprised. He plays at Missouri. He wears number 2. He's wearing 22 right here, which would not be a bad way to start out his career. Can we give him number 2? No, we can't because Drew Lock's wearing number 2. Okay, so Pride is just going to wear number 22. We did not take a safety. Yeah. Okay. Solid draft. Getting Travis Hunter, I mean, he's not really overly powered or anything like when I got Arch Manning in the Dolphins rebuild, which I'm still kind of shaking my head at because that was unbelievable to get a player of his caliber, like, unbelievable. Seriously. All right. So I think we're good to go ahead and advance to the preseason. I'm going to sign a third-string quarterback for our team, and that'll be the end of this video. Hopefully, I'll look to continue this next week. Jacoby Brissett is there. Let's bring him back to Indianapolis to be our third-string quarterback. Let's see what his number becomes now. He has number 15, and I think I'm just going to keep it like that. Okay. Well, not a very good first season, but we had a pretty solid draft led by Travis Hunter. So I'm excited for year 2 at the Indianapolis Colts. Hopefully I'll be back next week. I'm trying to be consistent with the videos. You guys know that if you ever for those of y'all that have started to follow my channel, I try to be consistent with at least putting out a video every Monday. Sometimes on Tuesdays, depending on if I feel like streaming the day before I go back to work on Wednesdays. But I actually have a 3-day weekend next week. I'm going to be off on Wednesday, taking an extra day off. So maybe I'll be able to stream a little bit more next week, maybe even mix in some different gameplay from College Ball 25, but I'll get to that next week. Fortunately, for those of y'all that watched my Miami Dolphins live stream last night, I was having some internet problems, and it briefly looked like I was having the same problems with this stream, but then the problems seemed to resolve themselves. But the stream went down a couple of times, and I had to start it up again with different live stream videos on my YouTube channel, so that was kind of annoying. It got cold this morning where I live here in South Texas. Ice and snow doesn't really mix well with South Texas, but from what I'm looking at, the Houston area got some snow. Even New Orleans, Louisiana got snow, a lot of it. There's snow on Bourbon Street. It's unreal to see that. Which is pretty crazy, just a few weeks before the Super Bowl, they're probably still going to be thawing out, but who knows. But, it was a very cold night last night. It's going to be very cold again tonight where I live here. There was some ice on the roads. You guys know that I work in news. Some of y'all, I've talked a little bit about my job, but I didn't have to, but, I don't work on Tuesdays, so didn't have to be involved with the snow and the ice coverage today. So able to, stay warm and stay safe. But I'll just tell you this, going down the stairs of my apartment, because I live on the second floor, just today was a hassle. Although the sun is coming out, so I think that'll probably get rid of any ice that's still on the stairs. Because this morning I had to go grocery shopping, and I had to take my time going up and down the stairs. I had to hold onto the railing to make sure I didn't slip with gloves on and everything like that. And that was a little bit of an adventure. And I took several trips just to get my groceries back in my apartment because I had to have at least one hand available to hold onto the railing so I didn't slip. So that was a little bit of an adventure. But we're supposed to have apparently a hard freeze tonight, but no precipitation. So fortunately, it'll just be really, really cold. I'm going to drip my faucets tonight for sure. I didn't drip them last night, but I'm probably going to drip them tonight. Just to make sure that we don't have any problems. And also my apartment complex sent me emails saying, hey, make sure you drip your pipes and you got your heater on. Well, the heater's been on for the last 3 weeks, so I'm not too concerned about that. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully we'll be back next week with part 2 of the Indianapolis Colts rebuild for the 2025 season, Travis Hunter's rookie season. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.